Take a moment to feel your feet connected to the earth. Feel your seat beneath you. Notice whatever you're seated on. Allow the spine to get tall and the shoulders to relax and draw back. Feel the heart lifting, opening, and expanding. And just allow the face to soften. Allow the eyes to relax. Feel the jaw relax. Just allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. And now bring your awareness to the base of the pelvic floor, the base of the spine, and feel your root. And now visualize actual roots starting at your pelvic floor and going down, down into the earth. And as you continue to consciously breathe here, visualize these roots going even further down into the earth. Feel these roots expanding. Feel them expanding downwards and outwards, increasing your connection to the here and the now. Increasing your connection to this planet, to the earth. Increasing your connection to you, to your own safety and security right here in this moment. Now visualize your roots going so deep they go to the core of Mother Earth. See what these roots look like. Feel them. Experience them. Now set the intention to keep this awareness. So that as even you move later on into the evening, know that these roots connected to the earth are always here. Know that you are ultimately always rooted, grounded, safe, secure, and supported, no matter what is ebbing and flowing in the theater of life. Keep focusing on the conscious breath. And now feel into that strong connection with yourself. Bring your left hand on the heart in the center of your chest, really the right hand over the left hand. And as you continue to focus on the conscious breath, now you just visualize this breath flowing in and out of the heart space. Tuning into the sensations that arise as you breathe in and out of the heart. Bringing your focus fully into the heart center. And as your focus is in the heart center, just take a moment and think about an intention you'd like to set for our 21 days together. And just allow that intention to flow into the heart center and take a few more breaths in and out of the heart, allowing that intention to expand with each breath. And then take a nice slow breath in through the nose. See if you can bring the breath all the way down into the belly. Through the mouth, exhale, let it all go. Deep, full breath in through the nose, bringing that breath all the way down into the belly if you can. Through the mouth, exhale, let it go. One last round, deep, full breath in through the nose. Through the mouth, exhale, let it go. And then just come to breathe in and out through the nose naturally. And as you're ready, just allow the eyes to open and you can bring the hands down. Beautiful. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me on this 21-day meditation challenge. And really, it's a journey into ourselves more fully and more deeply. And as you all know, the theme for this 21 days is to calm the nervous system and de-stress the body. And we just started with a little grounding meditation. And the grounding meditation at the beginning, we'll probably be doing something similar every day. It is one of the most effective ways to calm the nervous system and put you into that more parasympathetic nervous system state. So we'll be getting most of our days with something similar, probably a little bit shorter, but just to get rooted and grounded. So this evening, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go through just a few of the benefits of a meditation practice, and then I'm gonna share with you guys just a couple tools, a couple tips that you can use to make your meditation practice more easy. And then we'll do a little practice meditation. And then, like I said, you can ask questions at any time. You can put them in the chat or ask them, just unmute yourself, feel free. And then we'll just end with a little guided meditation, similar to like a yoga nidra, just to really move us into that state where we start to really feel the nervous system calming, where we start to move into that place where we sense our body de-stressing a little bit. So we'll end that way. So I love meditation because it's an ancient practice that has been used in nearly every culture to calm and still the mind. So it's this practice that's not affiliated or tied to a certain religion or a certain spiritual practice. It's really across the board. And it's just such a powerful, beautiful way to really tune inside, get to know yourself, and start to move into that state of de-stressing the body, calming the mind. A regular meditation practice really helps us to align and be more fully aware of our six senses. So our sense of sight, sound, taste, smell, our intuition, our hearing. And so as we continue on a meditation practice, all of these senses start to become, I guess, brighter. We become more aware of all of our senses. And I love just all the research that's been done, and the Harvard Business School and INSEAD, which is a leading business school in Europe, they both concluded through their research that the most successful business tools for the 21st century are meditation and intuition. And through meditation, you increase your intuition. So it's pretty cool. I think that all of this stuff is starting to be more researched and even found to be good for business and pretty much anything you're doing in your life. So I thought I'd read just a little excerpt from this Forbes article that I love. And it just talks about the DMN, which is the default mode network in our brain. One of the most interesting studies in the last few years carried out at Yale University found that meditation decreases activity in the default mode network, the brain network responsible for mind wandering and self-referential thoughts. So it's also known as the monkey minds. The DMN is on or active when we're not thinking about anything in particular. So it's when our minds are just wandering from thought to thought. And since mind wandering is typically associated with being less happy, ruminating, stress, anxiety, worrying about the past, worrying about the future, it's the goal of many people to dial it down. So several studies have shown that meditation, through its quieting effect of the DMN, appears to do just this. So even when the mind starts to wander, with a meditation practice, new connections start to form. So meditators are better able to snap out of it. So we all, no matter how long we've been meditating, those worries and those thoughts can still arise. But if you have that practice, you've trained your brain to sort of stop those thoughts, to sort of re-pattern the thinking. Meditation also soothes the nerves. So it's the sympathetic nervous system that is affected most by anxiety, tension, fatigue, depression. And leading experts have proven that meditation alone dramatically reduces the negative effects brought about by all of these emotions. So the meditation, in essence, activates the good nervous system, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. And so what happens when we start to activate the parasympathetic nervous system is we slow down the heart rate, we slow down our breathing rates, our blood pressure decreases, and we just start to soothe all those sympathetic nervous system flight or fight responses. So we move from this flight or fight mode to rest and digest. So this is all just by meditating. So I don't know, I just love the practice of meditation. It just has so many powerful effects on the body and benefits. And for me, it's the biggest thing that has given me this massive transformation in my life. And you know, the practice of yoga encompasses meditation, but it wasn't until I started to move beyond the physical practice and into a meditation practice that my life really started to change. So I'm just so excited to be here with all of you sharing this. And I just wanted to read off a few more benefits just so you could hear all of the things that meditation does. So it increases our intuition, reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, increases our confidence. It can promote self-awareness. It can promote emotional health. It can lengthen our attention span. It can reduce age-related memory loss, can generate kindness. It can help with decreasing our addictions. It can improve our sleep. And a lot of times, the longer you're meditating, the more you're meditating, you'll start to find you need less sleep. It helps with pain control. It can even decrease blood pressure. It increases our critical thinking. And they've now been showing so many benefits in children in school, which is pretty amazing. So does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to share before we move on? No? Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to talk about two myths that often come up when we talk about meditation. One is, I can't meditate because my mind is too busy. I'm not a good meditator because my mind is thinking about things all the time. And I just wanted to share that meditation isn't about necessarily right away quieting the minds. One of the things that naturally starts to happen is we start to calm the fluctuations of the mind. It does not happen overnight. This could take weeks, it could take years, it can take super long for some people, and it can be super quick for other people. And it also ebbs and flows. So you can have some days where you're just able to sit in stillness and the mind is calm, and then the next day the mind is racing. And that is one of the primary reasons I love doing the meditation challenges or having you practice meditation for several days in a row, because it's through that consistent practice that you can actually start to quiet the mind, calm the fluctuations, and sort of start to become more of a witness and not just get wrapped up in that crazy monkey mind. But it is, and I just invite you all to really have patience with yourself and whatever you can do, not to judge your experience, and just know if the thoughts rise a whole meditation, it's totally okay. And then that leads me to the second myth that I hear a lot, where people say, oh, I had a good meditation, I had a bad meditation. And there really is no such thing as a good or a bad meditation. A meditation just is what it is. And I think that's a really important thing to know, because like I said, it's going to ebb and flow. Some days you're going to feel great. Other days you're going to be like, did I even meditate? I just literally thought about something the entire time. And it's like, yeah, you sat there, you meditated. So there's no such thing as a good or a bad. And when we attach to the good or we attach to the bad, it kind of feeds that ego mind. So I just invite you at the end of your meditation to just allow it to be what it is, be a witness. And anytime the mind starts to wander, to say it's a good one or a bad one, just know that's sort of the ego hijacking you. And it really, it's neither here nor there. It's about the consistent practice. And so what I thought I'd do is just walk you through a couple tricks that I use to help with just making meditation a little bit easier. And one of them, well, what I've noticed is that there's two distractions that tend to happen during meditation. One is the external distraction, and then the other is the internal distraction. And so when I talk about the external distraction, I mean, when you sit down to meditate, you're in your space, and then all of a sudden, fire trucks go by. All of a sudden, your dog's bothering you. All of a sudden, there's noise in the background. You know, your family's moving around, the kids are crying, whatever it is. We as humans will find really anything to distract us. And so the external distraction, I think, can be at first a really challenging thing. It was for me to sort of work with. So you sit down in the meditation and all of a sudden something externally is happening. And so the trick I've found that works, and you can kind of pick a mantra that works for you. I just say to myself, I'm choosing to focus on me. And the key is not to try and block out the external distraction. The key is to acknowledge the external distraction, hear it, feel it, sense it, and then say, I'm choosing to focus on me. So you're directing your attention from this to this. And so it's a skill that you sort of learn over time, and it won't happen again in one practice. It's going to take time, but there's always going to be external distractions. And that's why you can see those photos, you know, of those monks who can just sit in like a busy square and everyone's going around us, because they've learned how to acknowledge the distractions, but then tune inside. So it's still there, you're still acknowledging it, but you're moving your focus inwards. A couple other mantras you could use are, I'm turning my attention inwards, I'm focusing on myself, or I'm choosing to focus on me. So you can kind of pick something that works for you. And that I think is super helpful. And the other distractions are internal distractions. So pain in the body, physical pain in the body can be one. And so I just highly recommend finding a really comfortable place that you choose to use for your 21 days. So it can be sit on your couch, you can sit on a chair, you can prop yourself up against a wall, but we don't want to be in pain in our physical body right when we start our practice. Sometimes what will happen is after, you know, we're in our practice for 10 or 11 minutes, the physical body may actually rear some sort of distraction for us, because the physical body sometimes creates pain to distract us. And so it's a very big difference between really not being comfortable from right when you're sitting down. So you'll start to, as you meditate, kind of figure out the difference between those two. The pain that is purposely trying to distract you from that stillness, and then the pain that, you know what, you just had knee surgery, it's better to sit on the couch. So that's one. And then the other one is the internal distraction is the mind, the thoughts. And so what I really love to do is label my thoughts. So you label your thoughts, and then what I do is I create these little buckets. You can create boxes, you don't even have to create them, all in my mind, and I label them. And I tend to have the same 3 categories. It's worrying, it's planning, and food. Those are the 3 that continually try to distract me. There's others as well. So what happens, an example is, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm starting to meditate, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. And next thing you know, in my mind, I'm going into what I'm cooking for breakfast, and then I'm going into the rest of my day. And then all of a sudden I'm obsessing about, oh my gosh, I didn't get that thing done for work today. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking about my coworker and how I can't stand my coworker. And so it just keeps going down that road. And so what happens is, if you're in your meditation, all of a sudden you're like, I'm hungry. You're like, oh, hunger category. Let me just put that thought in my hunger bucket. Then I focus back on the breath, back on the mantra. Breathe for a few breaths, and all of a sudden I'm stressing about, how am I going to get everything done today? I just acknowledge the thought, I put it in my worrying bucket, and then I come back to the breath, back to the mantra. And so what happens is, when we start to acknowledge it and then consciously label it and let it go, we start to not get sucked into that monkey mind cycle. So that's a really powerful thing, is just labeling into categories. And then you will notice you have similar categories on a regular basis. At first you may have a bunch, and then it may sort of settle down, or the opposite. No judgment, just noticing kind of what arises for you. But that's a really helpful technique. And, you know, the reality is what we resist persists. So if we resist the outside distractions, or we resist the inside distractions, they persist. So instead, I invite you to acknowledge them, sense them, feel them, and then consciously let the thoughts go, or tune back inside if it's the external one. So it's not trying to push anything away. And the more that we start to master this mind of ours, the less reactive we become in our lives. So it's pretty powerful. So through our 21 days together, we're going to be using mantras, mudras, and breath work, all to calm the nervous system, to bring us into that state of stillness and alignment with ourselves, to go deeper within. A mantra is a word or a sound to aid in bringing us into a meditative state. And they all have different effects on the bodies. And so we're doing this for 21 days. We're going to learn 5 different mantras, and we're going to do each one for 4 days. And then we'll have an extra day at the end to do the last one an extra day. Mudras are gestures that affect the flow of energy in the body, and we'll be doing these every day. And there are different things we're going to be doing with our hands. And I'm going to guide you through, again, 5 different mudras to just sort of, like I said, they guide the energy and bring us into a meditative state. And they work with the meridians in the body. So each mudra is going to have a different effect on our body. All of ours, again, are going to be to calm the body, calm the nervous system. And then we'll be working with 5 different breath works. And I'll walk you through all of them, and then we'll get to practice for 4 days for each of them. But tonight, what I thought we'd do is we just practice those little tricks just to see how it goes for everyone. So I'm going to have you bring your hands. You can either interlace your fingers, or you're just going to bring your hands on your lower belly. I don't know if you can see that. So you just want to bring them right on the lower belly like that. So you can interlace the fingers, or bring the hands on top of each other like that. And I'm just going to have you close your eyes. And so I'm going to be mentioning the third eye center pretty much every single practice. So as you close your eyes, you're going to bring your attention up and into this third eye center. And the third eye center is the energy center within our bodies that's responsible for intuition, imagination, thought, and self-awareness. So it's located right in the middle of the forehead, just above the eyes. And when we close the eyes, we'll focus right at the third eye center. And if that's challenging, no worries. It'll eventually start to come. And if it's super easy, you can even visualize light expanding in this place. And I just guide you not to have a hard focus, but it's just a soft, light focus. So having your gaze up there, activating that third eye center. We're going to take a nice full breath in through the nose and just allow the breath to flow all the way down into the belly. It's as if you're filling the hands with your breath. And then as you exhale, just feel the body getting heavy, relaxing. Inhale deeply through the nose. Allow the breath to flow all the way down into the belly as if you're filling the hands. Exhale, allow the whole body to relax, to let go, and just take a few more rounds of breath like this. And if it's hard for you to bring the breath into the belly, no worries. Just set the intention that the breath flows all the way down into the belly. And as you start to get more comfortable with the breath, we're going to start to add counting of the breath. So on your next inhale, we're going to count for 3 rounds as we inhale, count to 5 as we exhale. Beginning now, inhaling 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continuing on your own. Your only focus is the breath and the counting of the breath. As you focus on the breath and the counting of the breath, just noticing if any external distractions are arising and just allowing them to be there, but turn your focus inwards. Choose to focus on you. The mind is starting to wander. Just allow yourself to label your thoughts into categories, consciously letting them go and bringing your attention back to the breath and the counting of the breath. Your only focus is the breath and the counting of the breath. And slowly keep the breath flowing, but just allow the counting of the breath to release. Keep focusing on the conscious breath. And then as you're ready, just slowly start to release the hands away from the belly and just opening the eyes at your own timing. It's pretty amazing that even through Zoom, I feel the energy, everyone's energy started to calm down. That was amazing. So anytime that our exhales are longer than our inhales, it actually calms the nervous system. It has this beautiful effect and activates the parasympathetic nervous system state. Does anyone want to share their experience or have any questions about that? No? Okay, awesome. So I wanted to go through a few of the best practices for meditation so that you guys all have sort of, you're starting the meditation practice, I should say, in the best way possible. So the one thing I recommend, like I said before, is to make sure that you're super comfortable. So you can sit on the couch, you can sit on a chair, you can lean up against a wall, but just making yourself super comfortable. You can also, I use like a little meditation cushion like this that I sit on. You can sit on a pillow, like even a pillow from your couch, to lift your hips up if you'd like. But just really allow yourself, you don't need to be seated on the ground with your legs crossed. You can absolutely sit in a chair or on the couch. The only thing I do highly recommend is that you do not do any of this in your bed, and you don't do it lying down unless you have some sort of injury that's preventing you from sitting up straight. Then definitely lay down. But if you can, having the spine tall is really having the spine tall is a really beautiful way to allow that energy to flow more freely and bring us more deeply into that meditative state. The other thing is we're going to be doing the live meditations every morning at the same time, but some of you are in different time zones. And so the only recommendation I have is to, if you can, do the meditation at the same time or similar time every day. And what that does is it just creates a habit. So, and if you miss it one day and that time and you have to do another time, that's totally fine. You never want to be too hard on yourself because you want to be able to keep doing it and keep consistent. But having a similar time is really beneficial. They say it's best to meditate at sunrise and sunset, but honestly, I think the morning is the best. It's really amazing to do it in the morning and the evening, but the morning is a really nice time to do it because you start your day setting an intention and you start your day in that calm state, clearing your energy so that you begin your day in that more calm state. The posture is important, which is why it's good if you're not comfortable on the floor to sit in a chair, on a couch, or against the wall so that you can have that length in the spine. So as you breathe, the breath can flow easier up and down the spine. So having a tall spine as you start your meditation is really important. And then if you would like, you can start to, as you start to meditate, your spine naturally might start to shrink down. If you like, that's totally fine. It's just when you start the practice, start with the tall spine and then just allow the body to move as it wishes during the meditation practice. And a lot of us sitting in this tall spine for 21 minutes at the beginning can be, it can be a lot on our muscles, and it's a new sort of alignment of the body for many people at the beginning. So if the spine starts to bend during the meditation practice, there's no stress, no big deal. So like I said, I think the morning is best. And when you get up, it's really beneficial to have an empty stomach. So I recommend you get up, you chug a glass of water, then you brush your teeth, you splash cold water on your face to get a little energized, and then you sit down and you do your meditation. So you do it first thing in the morning. And the more you practice, the greater the benefits. So the goal is to do 21 days in a row. And again, if something happens and you miss a day or two, not the end of the world, just do the best you can. But there is a real benefit to the consistent practice. Studies have shown that meditating for just 10 minutes a day on a consistent basis reduces our stress, lowers our cortisol level, and improves our outlook on life. So there's just been all these studies that show this consistent practice. And I think the key, no matter what, is no judgment. So if you miss a day, no big deal. Just do it the next day. No judgment. There's no good. There's no bad. There's no right. There's no wrong. Just doing the best you can and really having compassion for where you're at. And I really think of this as the 21 days. It's really a gift you're giving to yourself. And you're giving yourself this gift of spending time with yourself and on yourself and just giving yourself, or I should say more like really honoring that. And it's because it's a powerful gift that you're giving yourself. Does anyone have any questions? Someone just asked a question and they said, I found myself yawning on the exhales. And that is a really amazing question, because what happens when we start, what happens when we start to do, especially all these mantras and mudras that we're doing through this practice to calm the nervous system, our nervous system for most of us is a little bit overtaxed, especially in the US right now, mostly because many of us are these type A personalities, and the more you do, the better you are, right? And so that's so taxing on the nervous system. And then we have worldwide all the other stuff going on right now. And so what happens is our nervous systems are constantly overtaxed. So when we start to come into this calm state, our body has reactions. So one of the reactions is yawning. So when our nervous system is starting to sort of recalibrate, reactions start to happen, and yawning is one of them. The other thing that starts to happen that a lot of people have asked me about in the past too is they start to get extremely tired. They yawn, they just want to go to sleep during their meditation, which is totally normal for when you first start a meditation practice, because the only time for many of us, how it was for me, especially when you first start a meditation practice, the only time your body knows how to relax is when it's sleeping. That's how it was for me, and I'm sure some of you will find that too. So all of a sudden you're in a meditation practice and your body naturally thinks of resting as sleeping. And so your body naturally, as a reaction, will start to want to fall asleep, and you'll get super tired. And so I just suggest just keep focusing on the breath, keep focusing on the mantra, and know that eventually your nervous system is going to start to know how to just naturally move into that calmness, that relaxation without sleeping. So that's the effect of the yawning. That's also a similar thing. Someone just asked, why did you pick this particular subject for the series? And I picked this particular subject because I think now more than ever, we are all dealing with different types of stress. And even if we're not personally dealing with a lot of stress, there's so much stress worldwide that collectively it's in our energy. And so I think now more than ever, we could all really use any way to start to help to calm our nervous system. And I think that from my perspective, one of the ways also to keep healthy, to keep our immune system strong, is to be in that parasympathetic nervous system state. So those are two of the main reasons. There's so many other, but I think those are the two of the main reasons, just to keep our immune system strong, but also just to deal with the immense amount of stress that's happening to each of us individually and then as a collective. And then just a little bit of the logistics of what's happening is, so we're going to be meditating every day for 21 minutes a day. Like I said, we're going to be using the breath work, the mantra, and the mudra. Each one will do for 4 days. So we're going to go through 5 different breathwork, mantras, and mudras. And at the beginning, I will explain all of them. And then you'll also get a message on the website and on the Facebook with a little bit more detail if you have any deeper questions. Each session is 21 minutes. They'll be live in the morning, and then immediately after, I upload it onto Facebook as well as the website. So immediately after, if you miss it, you'll have access to it. And then you'll have access to all the recordings for a month after. Any questions you guys have, you can always feel free to send me a private message, an email, a text, or I really recommend the Facebook group, because on the Facebook group, if you have a question, it's most likely that at least 5 other people have the same question. So a lot of times if people ask me a private question, I'll then put that question on Facebook. I won't use anyone's name, but just because it's usually something that so many other people are asking about. So I really invite you to use that Facebook group to share your experience, to ask questions, and really create this Sangha so that we all can kind of be there for each other to keep the momentum going. And then tonight you'll get an email. We'll have the exact same Zoom link every single day. So you can just use the same Zoom link for every one of our meditations. They're at 7:30 in the morning Mountain Standard Time, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. So that's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I think there's a couple people in other countries, so I don't know all those in all those time zones, but if you need help, let me know. Does anyone have anything else they want to ask about? Any questions, or anyone want to share anything? Okay, awesome. So I thought that one thing we would do just to, again, just to really, so you could feel that sense of calming the body, was I would walk you through it's considered really a guided meditation or even a yoga nidra. So for this type of meditation, this guided yoga nidra type meditation, you can either lie down, just come to a comfortable seated position, just finding a place that feels really amazing for you. So I'll just give you a few seconds here just to, if you wanted to lie down for this. Or again, you can stay seated. And once you arrive in your comfortable seat, you're just going to close the eyes. And if you're sitting, you're just going to bring the palms down onto your laps. If you're lying down, you can bring them onto your belly, or just lying down next to you on the ground. Just again, we want you to be super comfortable for this. And then everyone, if you haven't already, just allowing the eyes to close. And start to focus on the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Taking several long, slow, deep breaths. Breathing in fully and exhaling slowly. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Tune into your stomach expanding on the inhale. And just sense the whole body relaxing and letting go as you exhale. Feeling the pull of gravity rooting and grounding you down. Begin to let go of the noises around you. Begin to shift your attention from outside of yourself to inside of yourself. You get distracted by the sounds in the room, just simply notice this and bring your focus back to your breathing. Now slowly bring your attention down to your feet. Begin observing sensations in your feet. You might want to wiggle your toes a little, feeling your toes against your socks or your shoes. Just noticing the sensations without judgment. Imagine sending your breath all the way down to your feet, as if your breath is traveling through the nose, to the lungs, through the abdomen, and all the way down to your feet. And then back up again and out through your nose. Perhaps you don't feel anything at all, and that is just fine too. Just allow yourself to feel the sensation of not feeling anything. And when you're ready, just allow your feet to dissolve in your mind's eyes and move your attention up to your ankles, up to your calves, your knees, your thighs. Just observe the sensations you are experiencing throughout your legs. Breathe into and breathe out of the legs. If your mind begins to wander, just gently notice this without judgment and bring your mind back to noticing the sensations in your legs. If you notice any discomfort, any pain or stiffness, don't judge this, just simply notice it. Observing how all your sensations rise and fall, shift and change moment to moment. Noticing how no sensation is permanent. Just observe and allow the sensations to be in the moment, just as they are. Breathe into and out from the legs. And on the next inhale, slowly allow the breath to go down into the belly. And then as you exhale, just allow the legs to dissolve in your mind. And move to the sensations in your lower back and your pelvis. Softening this area and releasing this area as you breathe in and out of it. And then slowly move your attention up to your mid-back and your upper back. And just become curious about the sensations here. Maybe you become aware of the sensations in the muscles, temperatures, or points of contact with the furniture. Allow the breath to flow fully into this space. And with each exhale, let any tension go that you may be carrying. And then very gently shift your focus to your stomach and all your internal organs. Perhaps you notice the feeling of clothing, the process of digestion. Maybe you feel the belly rising and falling with each breath. If you notice any opinions arising about these areas, just gently let these go and return to noticing the sensations. As you continue to focus on the breath, bring your awareness to the chest, to the heart. Just tune into your heartbeat. Observe how the chest rises during the inhale and how the chest falls during the exhale. Consciously letting go of any judgments that may arise. Take a nice full breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, just shift the focus to your hands and your fingertips. See if you can channel your breathing into and out of this area, as if you are breathing into and out from the hands. If the mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the sensation in the hands. Take a nice slow breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, just shift the focus and bring your awareness up into your arms. Observe the sensations or maybe lack of sensations that may be occurring here. Maybe the right arm feels different from the left arm. No need to judge, just tuning into this. As you inhale, allow the breath to flow fully into the body. And as you exhale, maybe you feel the arms softening. Maybe you feel tension releasing. And as you continue to focus on the breath, shift your focus to the neck, to the shoulders, to the throat. This is an area where we often have a lot of tension. So just spend the next minute breathing into this space, and as you exhale, just allowing the shoulder and the neck to relax and let go. As you inhale, you bring the breath into the shoulders, and as you exhale, consciously allowing them to release, to relax, to let go. It's as if the tension is rolling off of your shoulders and down into the earth. Take a nice full breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, now shifting your focus and directing your attention to the scalp, to the head, to the face. Tuning in and observing all the sensations that are occurring in this space. Noticing the movement of air as you breathe into and out of the nose. Tuning into that sensation as you inhale, the breath expands in the body, and as you exhale, maybe you notice the softening of any tension you may be holding. Now allowing your attention to expand out to include your entire body as a whole. Bring into your awareness the top of your head, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet and your toes. Feeling the gentle rhythm of the breath as it moves through the body. And then take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose. Through the mouth, exhale, let it all go. Deep, full breath in through the nose. Through the mouth, exhale, let it go. One more round, deep, full breath in through the nose. Through the mouth, exhale, release it all out. And then just come to breathe naturally in and out through the nose, and bring the left hand on the heart, the right hand over the left hand. And when I say the heart, really I mean right in the middle of the chest. And just allow yourself to focus now inside into the heart center, and just take a few deep breaths in and out of the heart. Reminding yourself of your intention for our 21 days together. And as you breathe in and out of the heart, allow that intention for the next 21 days to expand with each inhale. And as it expands, it energetically starts to fill every part of your body, every cell in your being, truly setting that intention in motion. And then as you're ready, if you're lying down, you can slowly open the eyes and stretch a little and come back up to join us in a seated position. And if you're already seated, as you're ready, you can open the eyes. Amazing. So it is so amazing. Like I said, it's cool coming from my perspective because I can see these energy shifts. So it's pretty powerful to see as a group, really beautiful. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share or any questions they'd like to ask? You can just unmute yourself and ask a question, or again, you can type something in and I can answer. Awesome. All right. So you guys will all get an email this evening with the Zoom session login for each day, the same one for every day. And then, like I said, I will upload all of the meditations immediately afterwards onto the website as well as the Facebook page. And on the email I send out tonight, it'll have the link to the website again, a link to the Facebook page again as well. And I really invite you to share your experience or questions on the Facebook page, and I am always available. So please feel free to reach out with any questions via email or text, and or just sharing your experience. I love to hear everyone's experience. So please feel free. I'm here and would love to hear from all of you. So have a beautiful night. I'm really looking forward to spending the next 21 days with all of you. And like I said, feel free to reach out and have the most beautiful night. And I'll see you guys, many of you, first thing tomorrow morning.